Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. Jason and I are working in the front yard today, and I am back to this spot that I just worked on the other week, this berm area. I added a whole bunch of beautiful plants and even some structure with rocks, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this area. Ugh, it's already too hot for my vest, and it's early. So Jason is over there. He's adding drip irrigation to some of the conifers that I've planted. He's at the Green Wave Atlas Cedar right there with Monty watching over him. I'm working over here by the berm. So just about a week ago, I installed this whole planting right here, this beautiful planting that I'm absolutely obsessed with. It starts with the big Blue Angel Cedar of Lebanon from Isley Nursery. This is such a beautiful plant, and I can see that it's really happy because look, it's standing up straighter than it was. It's super happy, and it also has some new growth on it. So that's really exciting. Underneath that, I have 3 of these miniature junipers. These guys are going to get about 3 feet tall and 1 foot wide. I did add some rocks. I am going to add a couple more, but I'm really happy with those. I think they were beautiful. And these 2 rocks together were only 20 bucks from my local landscape supply store. So I think I'm just going to keep going there and getting more rocks just to kind of add them around to my garden to add some like structure to my garden. I think that'll be really pretty. And then I underplanted all of it with the beautiful pink cashmere superbena. I love this plant. It is so gorgeous. It is such a good performer, and I planted them in a way that they should all grow together. So it should be one beautiful mass of pink over this berm as the season goes on. So I think that that'll be really gorgeous. What I'm thinking though is that I'm going to be looking at it from this way, because this is where you see outside the window. Let me show you guys. Let me turn you around. That window right there is our dining room and our kitchen, and you can see out there, and it's this view that you really see. So I really want to focus on this view, and you can see what I'm noticing is that I have this blank space right on the other side of the berm. And the reason why I left that blank is eventually I am going to add a fence, like a hog panel fence right here and right here to kind of surround this area and to make a courtyard. But I don't think we're going to get to that this year. So what I can do is I can plant an annual there to fill in the space with some beautiful, beautiful color so that I don't see this kind of blank spot right there. And it'll just add to this whole vista and vignette. I think it'll be really pretty. So I have some lemon coral sedum right here, a patch of lemon coral sedum. Behind that, I have meteor shower verbena. Then that steps up to the iceberg roses right here. And then of course I have my Eureka lemon tree right there, which is going to take some time to grow, but I think it's really happy. And then I also have some orange blaze nyphophia right there, and then a Miss Molly butterfly bush. So I think it should look really, really pretty. And then this blank spot, I think I'm going to add some Playin Blvd salvia. I think it'll be really pretty. I'm going to put it back here because Playin Blvd salvia is relatively tall. It's not, as compared to the pink cashmere or the lemon coral sedum. And I think that'll be a really pretty plant to put back there. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to put, but right here, I'll find something else to put right there. So that's kind of my plan for today, is just to fill in this blank spot that I've purposely left open, but now I'm thinking about it and I think I want to fill it up a little bit just for enjoying this view this year. Then coming over this way, I wanted to show you guys this garden bed. This garden bed is kind of a work in progress. So first of all, I planted this bush morning glory right here, or convolvulus. I think that's what it's called. I'll put it on the screen. So I planted it last year. It did nothing last year. Now it's finally starting to bloom and looking good, but I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't know. It's like, can you see this one? This one's kind of growing up the wall over there. This one, it just kind of looks a little scrubby to me. Like it almost looks like a weed is growing up through my plants, if that makes sense. I've planted this in with some superbena whiteout, which is really pretty. And then I also have some black mondo grass right here. A lot of you said that black mondo grass spreads really bad for you, and you can see it does not spread for us at all. I think we're just too dry here for the black mondo grass to spread. So my thought for this garden bed was to do like a black and white garden bed. I had the white bush morning glory, I had the white, the Superbino whiteout, and then I had the black Mondo grass, and it just didn't really work. It looks really scrubby. It looks really messy. I just don't like it. So I don't think I'm going to address this today, but I wanted to show you guys the Morning Glory in bloom, because when I bought it from the garden center, the tag said that it blooms like all season long. And the first season I got zero, like literally zero blooms. And now I'm actually starting to get blooms. So it definitely does have blooms. I'm just not a huge fan of it, I think. And that's okay. If you just like, you know, gardening is not a one and done thing. It's kind of a, you have to, it's a journey. You have to figure out which plants you like where and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I will be taking these out, probably, you know, not today, but I do have an idea for what I'm going to plant here, and I think it's going to look really, really pretty. But just wanted to show you guys that. So anyway, back to the Playin Blvd Salvia. It is, I mean, I feel like I talk about it all the time. It is one of my absolute favorite plants in the garden. It blooms absolutely all season long. It is so easy to care for, and here where I live, it is a temperennial. It'll overwinter, and all you have to do is you just have to cut it back to maybe about 6 inches, and then it'll just flush out like a new plant. It's just absolutely beautiful. So I have it planted all over my garden. Let me show you some of the places that I have it in here already. So first of all, I have it in here in between my 2 orange trees. Look at the Superbino raspberry. Isn't that gorgeous? So I have a little patch of it back here. This one I did prune back, and you can see I'm starting to get new buds that are starting to come out. It's mid to late March right now, and so they're starting to flush back out. I haven't fertilized this yet, but I definitely need to start fertilizing it. Look at my cow lilies. Look at how good these look. Oh my gosh, I love them. And these over here. Okay, I know it's not a garden tour, but look at how beautiful these look. Man, they're gorgeous. All right, and then coming over here, I have another patch over here of the Playin Blvd Salvia, and I actually never got to pruning these back. So I definitely have to do it, but I wanted to show you guys that even though I didn't prune it back, it's still blooming. It's still coming. So, you know, if you don't get around to it, it's not the end of the world. It's still going to live, and it's still going to look really pretty. I do have to come in and I have to cut back all of this old stuff. I'll make sure I do that today. Then I have more over here. These I did prune back, and you can see the new growth. The flower stalks, the bloom stalks are starting to come up, which is looking beautiful. More over here. As you can see, I'm not shy in planting this Playin Blvd Salvia. I love it. And then here's another patch that I did not get around to cutting back, but you can see new growth down here. And then one more show and tell. Look at this plant. Look at this plant. This is Homestead Verbena. This plant is so fantastic. This should be my March blooming garden plant. I think it was my April blooming garden plant last year, and it will bloom in April, but it is definitely a March bloomer for sure. This is so gorgeous. I haven't fertilized it either, you guys. I need to fertilize. I mean, I don't really need to fertilize it. It is just such a good performer. It's hard to find, and this is the only color that Homestead Verbena comes in, but it's just beautiful. All right, well, I'm going to go grab my supplies, my equipment, and the plants, Playin Blvd Salvia, and then I will get to planting. Okay, so we've got the Playin the Blues Salvia planted. They are gonna look so good right there. How many do I have? 16 plants there. I planted them 14 inches apart, as it said. They can get up to 3 feet wide, and I like planting them like this because then it creates this big, solid mass of salvia with the purple bloom spikes. It's gonna be absolutely beautiful. It can get up to 4 feet tall, and it really does, I would say, with the bloom stalks, get up to 4 feet tall. So I'm gonna be able to see it over the berm, and I think it'll look really pretty back there. Then I decided to plant in front this little space that I have with blushing Princess Sweet Alyssum. This plant is so beautiful. It's already getting big. It was in its cans all stuck together. So it'll grow in as it has a little bit more space right now. But this guy can get up to 3 feet wide, which is absolutely crazy. And the cool thing about this one is normal alyssum that you kind of get in the 6-packs at garden centers. They don't really handle our heat very well. We can get up to like 110 degrees in the summer, and those guys will kind of melt away as it starts getting hotter. But these guys can handle the heat. I had them in my garden at my last house, and actually in my front swoop, and they bloomed all season long, even when we were like having, you know, one of our heat waves of like 10 days. I think it was 10 days of over 100 degrees, and it bloomed the whole time. So I think that that'll look really pretty. It'll be nice and low, and then it'll look good right next to the lemon coral sedum, and then backing with the Playin the Blues salvia. Jason is adding drip to this whole area. We still have to put drip in for the pink cashmere, and because there's so many plants right here, he decided to just add, is this 1/2 inch, Jason?
It's 1/2 inch, yeah.
1/2 inch. He decided to just add in another 1/2 inch tube, just because there's going to be too many emitters here. So, you know, we want to make sure that the pressure stays nice and high. So he's going to work on that. Before I get distracted with anything else, I have to get my pruners and I have to go prune the rest of my Playin the Blues salvia. I'm not letting myself do anything else until I finish that. All right, that looks so much better. It's really, really easy to cut back this plant because all you do is follow the old bloom stalk all the way down to the base of the plant. You can kind of see them back there, and then you can just cut that off. And then you're left with all this beautiful, fresh new growth and new buds. So I've got this whole area cleaned up. This is also Maestro, I think it's gold, Maestro Gold Agastaki that overwintered for me. And then I cleaned up this bunch over here. This guy is looking really good, and I found a bunch of ladybugs and a bunch of ants that got all over my pants. Did they go back in hiding? You can kind of see them. They were all over. I had to have Jason come over and help me get them off of me. So Jason, are you about done? Not even close? That was a lot. I mean,
it just took me a while to get it laid out.
Let's see what you did.
Not much, honestly. I of like a handful of plants done.
Oh, well, at least it's a nice day, right?
Yeah, oh, that's good.
So before I let you guys go, I want to show you one more thing. So last week I planted this variegated Echium right by my gazebo. This little guy right here looks like nothing, right? And I didn't really know what it was. I got it as a cutting from somebody and it wasn't labeled. And I assumed that it was something called Star of Madeira, which is the variegated offshoot or cousin of Pride of Madeira, which I actually have over here. And but I didn't really know, I wasn't totally sure. But then, of course, garden friends to the rescue. My sweet friend Deb from San Diego, she has an Instagram account called A Cozy Garden, and I did a garden tour of her garden last year. She is just the most wonderful human being. She sent me this video and she identified it and gave us all the information we need.
Good morning, Janie. Welcome to my garden. I was watching your YouTube channel the other day and I saw that you had planted up some Echium and that it was a variegated variety and you were unsure about what the name of the variety was. And I think what you have is called Star of Madeira. And what I was reading about with this particular plant, now this was a couple of years ago, so I may have some of the details wrong, but it's my understanding that Star of Madeira is actually a sport of Pride of Madeira. And the way that it came about being available to us in our garden centers is there was a plantsman up, I think in your neck of the woods up in San Francisco, that spotted this variegated Madeira growing amongst some other Pride of Madeira. And he took some cuttings and grew them on and had success with them and sold them to several wholesale nurseries. And then the wholesale nurseries began selling them to retail outlets. So that's how we have the variegated variety available to us. I think this happened like in 2003, 2004. I don't know. Don't quote me. I read it a couple of years ago, so I may have some of the details wrong, but it was something along that lines. Anyways, I'm happy that we have it because the variegated variety is beautiful. And when I spotted yours, I thought, I know what that plant is. And I know what that plant is going to look like in a couple of years. And so I wanted to share with you what you have in store for you. It really is a treat. So hold on just a sec. Let me turn the camera around and I'll show you. So here is my Pride of Madeira. It starts here and it goes all the way over to here. So it is a big baby. Now, something to know about Star of Madeira is it is not a biennial. I think you had mentioned that it was a biennial. I know some Echiums are biennials, but Pride of Madeira is actually an evergreen shrub. So it will grow on year after year. It blooms every single year. And I actually treat it like a perennial. I cut back the flowers after they're done blooming, and you can trim it up to size. Now, the reason that this one is so particularly large is because they are a brittle plant. And so sometimes some of the limbs will break, but they don't break completely. And if you leave them laying in the ground, they will easily root in. So this area over here was the original plant. And then I had a limb that broke and was just kind of laying, and I didn't notice it for a while, and it rooted in, and we had this whole second plant. So they're kind of attached right there in the middle, but it is basically just one ginormous plant. It is just getting ready to come into bloom. You can see all of the tops of the plants have those little kind of cone-like looking things that are just beginning to color up. And they will stretch out and get quite long. And they're a beautiful, beautiful purple. The bees love them. And they are just really a delight. I particularly love the variegated variety versus just the standard Pride of Madeira because I love the way the white margins catch the light. And it just kind of sparkles in the sunshine. So it's a really, really beautiful plant. And because of its size, it can become a real statement piece in your garden. I have a couple of other ones growing in my long border. I'll show you them real quick. So this baby is growing in the long border leading down to my husband's office. And this one actually was quite a bit taller. And the top of it broke off last year. And so I just wanted to show you this one because even though it is a brittle plant, it is quite resilient, and this has recovered really well. And I think it also illustrates the point that you can trim them up and kind of keep them into size. You don't have to let them grow as huge as I let the original one that I showed you. So I have this one, and then there's one growing back behind my bottle brush. And I'll send you a couple of pictures from last year when these were in bloom. That bottle brush is a pink bottle brush. And when these purple spires bloom out and they have the backdrop of the pink bottle brush, it's just beautiful. So really, I love, love, love this plant. And I was excited to see you plant it in your garden. I also have some regular Pride of Madeira that's growing in my backyard. So I'll take you back there real quick and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I am in my back garden now. Please ignore the weeds. I have not gotten a chance to get back here and address this area of my garden, but I wanted to show you what the standard Pride of Madeira looks like that is not a variegated one. The sun isn't ideal right now, but anyways, I also wanted to throw out a little bit of caution with this plant. So this tall one here in the back is the mother plant. And that is the original one that I planted. It's the very first Echium that I ever planted. It's about 7 years old. And then this whole forest of Echium that are growing on my bank are all plants that have grown from seed. So Echium readily self-seeds. If you do not want to have a bunch of Echium blowing all over your yard, I would recommend that you make sure that you deadhead them before the flowers set seed, because as you can see, it easily self-seeds and you can end up with a forest of Echium if you want it. And if you don't, then you need to take precautions. So I'm going to be taking out this year, I'm going to be taking out the mother plant. It is old, it's scraggly, it's showing its age, and it's blocking the view of my wisteria that I have planted back behind it. I'm actually going to take out all of this, and I am only going to leave this one plant here. But it is a beauty, and you can see it is already showing its color. It's already got its pretty, pretty purple blooms that are starting to come up. And one thing, if you are going to plant Echium, that I would highly recommend is if you can plant it in an area where it catches the sunlight, it really shows to advantage. I mean, isn't that just beautiful? We've got the sun kind of rising up over here this morning, but oh, it's just a lovely, lovely, lovely look. And I love the way the sun plays on it. It takes a fabulous photo. Anyways, wanted to show you that and just touch base with you. I am loving what you are doing in your garden. That gazebo that you have in the front yard, oh my goodness, it's just perfection. And the dry riverbed, everything you're doing, friend, is just, it's gorgeous. I'm loving watching your garden journey, and so thankful that you are bringing us along for the ride. So, all right, sweet friend, you take care, and we will talk to you soon. God bless.
Thank you so much, Deb. First of all, thank you for sending that video, because I had no information on this plant. I'm really not familiar with Echiums at all. Like you said, I thought that they were biennials. I guess some of them are, but my Pride of Madeira and then now my Star of Madeira is going to be like a perennial for us here. So really exciting, and I'm excited for, like, you know, I know it's going to spread and I know it's going to be huge, but I'm actually super excited because I think this is the perfect place for it. Deb is an amazing, amazing photographer. So if she says that a plant makes a good photo, she knows what she's talking about. And any plant that she says that she loves and has in her garden, I will 100% copy her because she has impeccable taste. Head over to her Instagram because she's doing this wonderful series this year that's been so fun. It's 52 weeks in her garden, and every week she's updating us. So it's basically a garden tour every week. And like I said, she lives in San Diego, the kind of the hills of San Diego. And so she has amazing weather. So she has something blooming all 52 weeks. So head over to Deb, follow her. Thank you so much, friend. I appreciate you sending that video. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get in your garden today.